Hey you guys, it's Ryan with Invicta. I'm doing a little solo show here today. Kathy Norton was going to be in studio, but she was unable to make it. So I'm just going to wing it myself today. We have 3 different items here during the course of the show from Invicta. So appreciate you being here, tuning in, and just seeing what we have. Something outside of the other watches that we had in the shows just a little bit earlier. I will be on a little bit later tonight with Jay-Z for a takeover show. So definitely stay tuned to that. And be sure to follow me on my social media handles. That's Invicta Ryan on Facebook, Instagram, and also with Twitter. All right, we're going to kick off the show here with something coming from our Aviator Collection. The Aviator Collection has really been expanding for us as a company from Invicta, a company that's been around since 1837, all about giving you fantastic timepieces, exceptional watches at affordable prices. And I think this definitely lends testimony to who we are as a company. We'll look at the 2 different color choices here for you. And those different color choices are either what you're looking at right here. We're referring to this as the silver tone variation. And then we have the gold tone variation. Now here's something a little bit different. I've never seen this before, but today, the silver tone variation, the price is going to be actually $79.42, and that's full price if you do a full pay. The gold tone variation is going to be $89.99. So that's completely drenched in that 18 karat yellow gold for the cradle, for the bracelet, and also the clasp enclosure. This is item number 667033, and it is at 48 millimeter aviator quartz. Now, while we're on the watch here, I'll show you with the gold tone variation. What I like about the timepiece is the unique factor of what we talk about, that case and cradle design. You'll be able to see this cradle is all done in the gold tone. However, the case, where you'll see Invicta is actually etched into the side, that is the case. So those 2 different components are actually put together by the independent screws on the bottom here of the case that keeps everything affixed for you. Now, looking inside the dial, we'll show you what I like about this is there's a lot going on inside the dial of this watch. First of all, we're referring to that as the Invicta Blue for the dial, for the case, and everything else. Now on the top portion of the rehaut that goes right along here, we have your compass with a full 360 degrees. But on the sidewall of the rehaut, you'll be able to see we have a tachymeter scale where you can measure a distance, or excuse me, you can measure speed over a certain unit of distance, all accompanying with this watch. You'll be able to see off to the side here, we have the expanded date aperture window in which your calendar date to the month, which actually will be framed right there for you. Large Arabic numerals at the 10th, 20th, 40th, and 50 minute marks that are a part of the watch. And then amongst the chronograph, which is simply a stopwatch between the 12 o'clock subdial, the 6 o'clock subdial, and also the 9 o'clock subdial, you'll be able to see now in operation here for that chronograph. We're measuring that elapsed time. Both of these subdials represent the gauges within a cockpit, as you'll be able to see with the bezels and almost in a sense the accent screws that are all part of this. Now here's the thing. You get the watch at one of the 2 prices there down below, and we're going to have 2 minutes on this item. We're going to move off. It's between 62 and 67% off here today. Now you're getting the watch of your choice. Again, the gold tone version is actually at that $79.42 value pay of $13.24, or excuse me, the silver tone version is the $79.42 or a $13.24 value pay. Otherwise, you're looking at $89.99 for the gold tone variation. The value pay on that is $15 off. But here's the thing. If it was only the watch at those prices on the screen, I think it's an exceptional value, silver tone, gold tone. But the fact of the matter is you're going to receive the watch in an 8-slot impact case. And we've presented these impact cases before years ago on overnight shows. We sold them for no less than $73.50. And trust me, we sold tens of thousands of these dive cases. Now the reason for the question mark is because it's a mystery dive case. We don't know what color you'll receive, but that makes part of the fun of ordering that goes along with this. So this impact case will hold 8 of your largest timepieces for you. There's a firm pillows here, all 8 of those. And there's a nice soft foam cushion right down here. So when you put your watches inside, everything will stay intact. Nothing will move around. Nothing will bump into each other. It's a brilliant way to be able to store your watches, to travel with your watches, or even perhaps to organize your timepieces with you. So along with this, today you're saving anywhere between 62 to 67% off the already negotiated and reduced ShopHQ price from us at Invicta. So again, we'll go through the 2 different color choices. I'll put them on my wrist here in the last 20 seconds that we have. I'll do the silver tone first. And again, the item number is 667033. You'll be able to see that silver tone variation in this shot. I'll just show you then that gold tone version, and then we do have to move on. But at that 48 millimeters, this is a size that men can wear, but it's also a size that a lot of women like to jump into also. We'll go with one final shot here, just keeping this in the screen here for you. Loving that gold tone along with that Invicta blue. So we're going to have to wrap this up. Item number 667033 to get into that 48 millimeter Aviator watch along with that 8-slot impact case. So let's see who is joining us. We have 01 BJ Parker out in Texas. He says, "Sup, Ryan." And ES Powell says, "Good afternoon, Invicta family. How's it going, RJ?" Doing well, my friend. Thank you for joining us here on the show. Sorry we jumped a little bit late. I had a show a little bit before in the conference call, so we had to slide this just a little bit further to 1:15 here today. So we're going to get into the next item here coming up. This is something special. It stems from our Pro Diver collection. This is an iconic collection, iconic design from us at Invicta, and really a top seller from us. Now this watch is new within the last 30 days here at the network, and it really took our customers by storm. So we're gonna go through the two different color choices that we're getting into today. We have, first of all, off to the side right over here, we have the black variations. And so we have the black variations in both a 38 millimeter and a larger size sitting at 44 millimeters. Now the 38 millimeter, I would say be geared more for the women. However, if you're a guy, you like more of a traditional size, you can do that. But that 44 is a universal size. It's a great size, it's a classic size for the gentleman, but it's also just right over that modern lady size for women, but I bet a lot of women will jump into that larger size. And with this watch, we also include in a ceramic bezel. So that's something we haven't done for quite a while that you'll be able to see. That white ceramic bezel is a part of this timepiece here for you, along with that meteorite dial. But let's show you the other color options here really quick, because we have a silver tone variation also that's a part of this watch in both the sizes at that 38 millimeter and also the 44 millimeter. Now let's just focus on the 44 millimeter here just for a moment and have you look on the inside of this dial, because here's something that's a big deal with this dial. If you look on the inside, and I'll work with our great camera guy and total YouTube guru, Mr. Ryan. It's like Ryan squared in the studio right now with Jeff, and also Aaron here as our fantastic visuals. You'll be able to see two different things that we include into the dial of this watch. First of all, if you look at the 12th hour marker, the 6th hour marker, and the 9th hour marker, we're including in diamonds. So the larger size actually has 3 diamonds at each one of those hour markers. If you're looking at the 38 millimeter, just because it's a little bit of a smaller watch, we include in 2 diamonds at each one of those hour markers. Another component is you'll be able to see this sweeping second hand. The sweeping second hand just going past that 45 seconds with the 3 different diamonds. So you have a mechanical automatic for a movement. It's the NH35A for the movement on the inside of this watch, but then it's the dial. This dial on the inside is a genuine meteorite dial. And the genuine meteorite, I think, in my opinion, is one of the most exclusive, one of the most exotic dial materials you can ever have inside of a timepiece. We at Invicta, we did some research a few years ago to find out from another watch company who's done larger production runs, such as we have in the watch industry for a meteorite dial. They charge, going from a metal dial to the meteorite dial, a $4,000 upgrade. And today, for you to get into this watch, it's just a fraction of that dial upgrade from another company to get the complete watch. You get the complete watch with the diamonds, with the mechanical automatic, with the bracelet variation that's included. And I believe right now, if you want to get into one of those timepieces from that other company with the meteorite dial, I think it's just shy of 50 grand right now, because they do a solid gold timepiece, which again adds to the price. But you have this iconic design from us, style that we've had for nearly 3 decades with the Pro Diver design. And what I like too is this new bracelet that we have. You'll be able to see how this bracelet is called just pooling. Look at how the bracelet just pulls down. What that means is it's just going to be extremely comfortable on your wrist with how this bracelet actually is for both the men and also for the women. Holy crap, everybody just joined the chat here. Let's see who else is on. DD West Coast. Met him out on the Invicta cruise along with Harrison. Let's see, Kenny's here. Kenny bought actually all 3 of the different chaoses. He got the mother of pearl, he got the meteorites, and also the diamond variation on the Invicta cruise. Bob is here. Bob Diltz. Also Bob Cohen. Todd is here. Thank you guys for all joining here during the course of the show. So along with that, Oh, we have also Mark. Haven't talked to Mark for a long time. He's on Facebook. So not only just talking to you and talking about the watches, but I have YouTube up, I have Facebook up. I am totally multitasking right now, and that is completely out of my realm, but I think I'm doing all right. So anyway, you know, when we talk about that meteorite dial on the inside of this timepiece, I mean, it's a big deal. You know, this particular meteorite, I mean, technically when they're orbiting around here, the solar system, in the asteroid belt, they're called meteoroids. Then, once one of those sort of goes out of alignment, bumps in another one, or has been on this sort of oval path and eventually is on a collision course with Earth, if it actually sort of disintegrates, and that's what you'll see, the meteor shower, it's called a meteor. But then, once it actually hits the ground, it's considered to be a meteorite. And this particular meteorite was discovered in Sweden, north of the Arctic Circle, back in 1906. And so we have access to that product, access to that field. We procure it, we bring it to our dial factories, and we create these exotic dials. And I want you to just look at the inside dial here of the silver tone, a larger 44 millimeter, really quick, before we're going to move off this item. But just look at and appreciate the material that goes along. You'll be able to see these different lines that are a part of the dial on the inside. Those are called the striations. And in addition to that, it's called the Windman-Staton pattern. So here's the deal. Every single dial is going to be different with this watch. Now, one other thing too, the timepiece is we actually include a sapphire crystal. When customers hear, collectors hear a sapphire crystal, that immediately goes off in their head as a big, big upgrade. Sapphire is known to be just really scratch resistant when it comes to a timepiece out there. Every single one of these watches has that sapphire crystal, not only going for the dial, but also on the case back for that exhibition window for this timepiece. So very nice upgrade when it comes along. So you have an upgrade in the dial, huge upgrade. Upgrade when it comes to the design here of the crystal, which is that sapphire crystal. And then along with that too is that mechanical automatic movement on the inside of the watch, being that NH35A. Really one of our most go-to movements in terms of mechanical automatics out there. That means you don't have to wind up the watch at all. You can simply wind up the watch via the crown, and by wearing the watch and just doing slight movements with your wrist, you could be at your computer, driving a car, whatever it happens to be, that is self-winding the watch for you and keeping the watch wound up automatically. I'm getting a little signal right now that we have to move on here to the final watch here of the show. If you want to get into either that 38 or 44 millimeter in the black or silver tone, the item number with that meteorite dial is item number 676828. Let's see if anybody else here is on. Oh, Vic joined over on YouTube. Thanks, buddy, for tuning in. He said he did a little late work and got it on the way. Let's see, anybody else? Johnny McQuinn joined us over on Facebook. He said beautiful watches. And Mary says, hi, Ryan, ShopHQ staff and the viewers. Have a blessed afternoon, everybody. Well, thank you, Mary, and right back at you here too. You have a blessed afternoon also. All right, we're going to get to the final watch here of my little mini show here today. And again, appreciate you guys. Hope you can handle it with me just being here solo on my own. But we're going to get in the final watch here of the hour. The item number is 677614, and it stems from our Disney collection. So we've had that partnership now with Disney for just about 4 years, coming up in September. We have multiple different choices here for you today, and I believe we're going by the bezel and then the dial color. So we'll start all the way over here, and we're looking at this version being, is that the blue, Jeff? I can't quite tell. This is going to be the black silver tone, is that right? So we're going by the top portion of the bezel. Okay, so the black silver tone. The next color choice over then, we're looking at the gold tone, or excuse me, the black gold tone. The third color choice then, this is going to be the black silver tone. The fourth color choice is the black rose tone. The fifth out of 6 color choices then, this is that the two-tone? Just let me double check. Is that
rose tone silver tone?
This is rose tone silver tone? All right, rose tone silver tone. And the final color choice then,
Silver tone.
we're looking at the silver tone. So this is our partnership with Disney that, as I mentioned, we're just coming up on 4 years of that great partnership with. Today, $69.99. You can bring that home on a value pay of $11.67. On that first payment, you add any applicable tax and the shipping and handling of $8.99 here today. But what you're getting into is just history with Invicta and also Disney, this great partnership that we formed this alliance with. In fact, it had already been solidified, and we were working on timepieces for about 1.5 to 2 years before we had the big launch. We're still continuing to make those watches today. And what we do with the Disney timepieces is that we make them numbered limited editions. And those limited editions on each and every one of these models is up to 5,000. So when you actually look at the case back of the watch, we'll have your specific number out of those 5,000 that we'll ever make for this watch. If you look inside here, you'll be able to see Mickey. Mickey just kind of chilling off to the left-hand side of the dial there, putting his left hand out in the air, welcoming you into the watch almost, if he will. Now this is the artwork of Jeff Shelley. He is the character art director of Disney, and he is just a humble guy with so much talent and knows everything Mickey, everything Disney out there. We've had the opportunity to have him travel with us throughout the world to our remote locations, down in Mexico, on the cruise ship, down in Florida, here in Minneapolis. And he does the artwork, the designs. We work back and forth with him and also Disney to get these perfect executions for you, to be able to have that Mickey, to have that celebration on your wrist and as a part of your collection out there. Now, a couple of the metrics about the watch: 43 millimeters. That's about an inch. That's just about 2 inches in terms of case diameter, about 1 3/4 inches to be exact. A size that everybody can wear. And this is that Pro Diver design out there. This is a design that everybody can virtually wear within their own personal collection. Now, what you also get is you get 100 meters of water resistance. So if you want to take Mickey in the water and go swimming all day, you're good to go. That comes along with it. We include in our upgraded Flame Fusion crystal, which has that hardness of a mineral crystal, scratch resistance of that sapphire crystal, so you get that perfect crystal to protect the dial. We also include in a little magnification window right here, so you're able to read that calendar date of the month extremely easy, so that magnifies everything up for you. So to be able to get into this timepiece here today, it's item number 677614. You're getting Disney. You're getting, actually, I forgot to mention too, you're getting the special packaging that goes along also. It's that special Disney packaging where Mickey is looking down at his Invicta watch on the wrist. You'll be able to see that partnership here, Invicta Limited Edition. Partnership when you open up the box inside of both Invicta and also Disney. You know what? 69% off today? That's not a bad deal at all, especially when we're taking into consideration the partnership and getting the watch of your choice here amongst the 6 different color choices under that $70 mark. So we do have to wrap up the show here. I have to get ready. I have a few different meetings here in the building today, but be sure to catch me a little bit later on tonight. I'm going to be on with Justin Zimmer, Jay-Z. We're going to have an Invicta Takeover show that's going to go from 8 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern tonight on ShopHQ, the big mothership here to the YouTube channel here on YouTube. So catch us a little bit later on. Again, be sure to follow me on all social media platforms. That's Invicta Ryan on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I appreciate you tuning into the show here today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later on tonight on The Big Show.